explaining to us that Daphne accompanied you to break the news to your mother of Joseph's death. How did your mother react?
Umama wazizwa kanjani noma wasabela kanjani kule ndaba?
Azange zabe right umama.
She didn't take the news very well.
Ungangokuthi the following day samthatha samusa kaDoctor ngendlela khona ngoba wacisha wangamncwaba nokumncwaba ukuthi ngendlela wayengakhona.
We had to, the following day or the day after they broke the news, we had to take her to the doctor because she was so sick and she couldn't have made it to bury his son the way she was so sick.
And did Daphne tell you where Joseph's body was?
Washo wathi use eMamelodi moshari yakhona esibhedlela.
She said
government.
She said she was in the government mortuary at Mamelodi Hospital.
Did you go to collect Joseph's body?
Yebo sahamba sayolanda.
Yes, we did collect his body.
Who accompanied you?
Ubani wawuhamba naye?
Angihamba nosisi wami ngimlamayo.
It was my sister.
Ne-undertaker bebe-3 ngaphakathi abantu be-undertaker.
And the people from the undertaker, there were 3 gentlemen from the undertaker or the funeral parlor.
What was the name of the funeral parlor?
Kwakuyinigama labangcwabi.
Ikago funeral.
Sorry?
Kago funeral.
Kago Funerals.
And when did you go to the mortuary to collect Joseph?
Naye nemakhazeni kuyolanda uJoseph.
uDaphne ufike nge-10 seqisa iSaturday neSunday, Monday savuka saya khona. Inhloso yami kwakuthi siye Saturday kodwa i-undertaker ithi angeke izikhone ibhizi yangcwaba over weekend.
Okay.
Wasethi sizoya Monday.
Daphne arrived on the 10th. I wanted to go that very same Saturday, but the undertakers, they told us that they're very busy because they're conducting funerals. So they suggested that we go on a Monday.
And did you identify Joseph's body?
Wakwazi ukusikhomba isidumbu sikaBaba Joseph.
Ngangafuni ukuyomkhomba ubudwana.
I didn't want to go and identify his body,
Kodwa uDaphne waforced
but Daphne insisted that I do so.
because kweza labo bhuti abasebenza emoshari bacala bakhuluma nathi. Basitshela ukuthi sizimisele because into esizoyibona ayinhlanga.
The gentleman from the mortuary came to us and then they said to us, we must prepare ourselves because what we are about to see will shock us.
Ngangafuna ukuyombona.
That's why I didn't want to go and identify his body.
Wasefoster kuDaphne wathi umthetho ngeke uzovuma ukuthi singayiko bheka ubhuti because fanele ukuthi sibone ukuthi sithathe isidumbu esi-right. Usisi wami wasiyasukuma ke.
Daphne insisted that we go and identify the body and told us that it was unlawful for us not to go and identify the body because we can end up with a wrong corpse. So that is when my sister stood up and went.
Ngase ngiyamlandela.
And then I followed my sister.
Mina into enza ukuthi ngimbone but ngathi mangena usisi wami wayesephuma. Ngathi uye wathi yawuye.
Where were you from? Where was the corpse?
Where was the corpse? I'm sorry.
Mamelodi.
Yeah.
in Motree.
Emamelodi.
It was in Mamelodi.
Okay.
Sisomothe phuma ngabe ngingena ngambuza ukuthi ngewathiya nguye.
As I went in, my sister was coming out, and then I asked her if that was indeed our brother, and then she said yes, it was him.
Ngangena nami ngambheka.
I went in and identified the body as well.
Yena bekengabukeki. Ubengabukeki ngempela. Into eyangenza ukuthi ngikholwe ukuthi nguye ingoba kade ngasena inyawo. Nestik esasibhaliwe ukuthi Joseph Gumede.
I couldn't see him. What I saw was not my brother, but what made me confirm that it was my brother is because he didn't have legs, and there was a sticker that was written Joseph Gomede.
Ulapho ke ngasho ngathi hayi ubhuti wami ke lona.
That is when I said, this is indeed my brother.
Mama, while we are there, ngicela uphinde ubuke ELAH 35. Could you again
Please.
look at ELAH 35?
Please look again at the ELH 35 picture.
In your evidence, you said this picture was taken in November 2014.
Uye wathi lesi sithombe sithathwe ngoNovember 2014.
Kunjalo.
Yes,
Error report.
Yebo.
yes, yes, Justice.
And then your brother was still at Esidimeni, was he?
Ubhuti wakho wayesase Life Esidimeni ngalesi sikhathi.
Beke ngingeni lapho 2014.
No, in 2014.
Or he had not gone
Yes,
there?
he had not gone there.
Now what?
Ngene ngo2015.
He was admitted in the year
Yes,
2015.
no, you did say that. Sorry, it's my mistake. What? Your evidence suggests that your brother was very violent.
Uye washo ukuthi ubhuti wakhe bewumuntu onodlame.
Kakhulu.
Yes.
Ongangokuthi bengakhona ukuhlala nanomphakathi.
And he wandered a lot out there and in the streets and the roads.
Wayezulazula futhi kakhulu emgwaqeni engahlalisekanga.
Kwakumuntu ohlala emgwaqeni engafuni ukuhlala ekhaya.
Yes, it was like that. He didn't want to leave at home.
I look at the picture. He seems to have amputations at knee level.
Uma ngibheka lesithombe ngiyambona ngathi unqanyuliwe la inyawo emadolweni.
Ngempela kunjalo.
Yes, it is so.
So at the time when he was violent and moved a lot and so on, had he been amputated already?
Ngalesi sikhathi usho ukuthi wayinodlame futhi ehamba hamba emgwaqeni inyawo zakhe zasesingasekho zasezinqanyuliwe ngaleso sikhathi.
Wayenodlame ngisho saseneinyawo zakhe engakanqunywa.
He was violent even when he had his both legs, even before he was amputated.
Ithe noma kwathi ucala kwakhe azange avela anqunywa zoyi2 inyawo same time. Wacala wanqunywa inyawo elilodwa.
He wasn't amputated both legs at the same time. They started with one leg.
When was the one leg amputated? Can you remember?
Mamnqamula nini uyakhumbula?
Angisakhumbuli mara mangaphosisi mhlambe kula ko 2007 or 2008 mangaphosisi.
She says she can't recall correctly, but 2006 or 7.
And the second amputation?
Ukunqanyulwa konyawo lwesibili
You might not
kwenzeka
remember
nini?
the exact date, but I want to have roughly when.
Ufuna nje uhlawumbezele ukuthi ngase kube yisiphi isikhathi.
Khona lapho ngisho ukuthi ku 2007 and 8 lapho nje uma bephinde okokuqala uma beqeda kumnqamula inyawo elilodwa ngathi mina mhlambe kuzomenza ukuthi manje angasakhona ukuhamba ngoba usehamba ngewheelchair usezohlala ndawonye.
She is also speculating that same around those years, 2007 or 8, and she says that when he was first amputated, she was sure that he wouldn't roam the streets anymore.
Yeah.
Kanti ngikhuluma nje manje kanti le wheelchair izoyenza itaxi.
But this wheelchair enabled him to move around.
Ngoba ngikhumbula nangelinye ilanga ngake ngafonela abantu bathi bala eAuckland Park bengithuka efonini ngaye.
I remember people from Auckland Park called me And they were not nice on the phone, they were violent towards
When he
him on
was
the phone.
admitted to Baragwanath, being injured,
Ngesikhathi admitwe Chris Hani Baragwanath elimele,
was he already on a wheelchair?
wayesehamba nge-wheelchair.
ubesehamba nge-wheelchair
Yes,
ubesehamba nge-wheelchair kodwa ebengakanqunywa elinye inyawo besenqume inyawo elilodwa.
but he was then, one leg was then amputated at that time.
So when you went to identify the body, you knew that you would have to look for somebody who had a dual amputation.
Ngesikhathi niyokhomba isidumbu benazi ukuthi kumele niyokhomba umuntu ongenazo inyawo
Yebo
zombili.
bengazi lokho.
Yes, we knew that.
And it brings me to the real question, which really was, you said he was a painful sight to look at, that his body was a painful sight to look at. Why do you say that?
Kungiletha embuzweni ukuthi njengoba ushilo ukuthi kwakubuhlungu kumbheka. Kungani usho njalo?
Mami bengizama ulandela isimo sakhe ngesikhathi uzombona.
I just want to understand his condition the time you were identifying his body.
Isidumbu sakhe sathi sibonile.
His corpse
Sinuka.
was decaying and it had an unpleasant smell.
Sasingakhoni nokuthi singene ngoba baze basifaka nama-mask.
We couldn't enter. They had to put mask on us for us to enter there because of the unpleasant smell.
Kwakuyinkinga nasendleleni noma sihamba ne-undertaker ngoba i-undertaker sasihamba naye yayingezaka ne-trailer. It was just a khumbi esasihamba ngayo sasihlezi naye la eduze kwethu all the way from Mamelodi to Joburg.
It was
Yazi bengifisa ukuthi imoto mayingami nasemarobotini ngoba bayithi mayima impukane zonke zithi vu.
It was-
Zonke imoto zasihamba emgwaqeni zazibuka imoto sasambayo ukuthi kwenzakalani ngaphakathi.
It was so unpleasant to travel with this corpse because the undertaker did not bring the proper trailer for a corpse. They brought a kumbi, so we had to travel with the body there. And each time I would pray that the car don't stop on the traffic lights because each time we stop, flies would come flying in because of the unpleasant smell of the corpse.
And what was the body at the Kalinen mortuary, CRC mortuary?
Ingabe isidumbu sasise Cullinan emotuary CRC?
Mamelodi.
No, it was in the Mamelodi Hospital.
Oh yes, the Mamelodi Day Hospital.
In Mamelodi Day Hospital.
I-government mortuary yakhona.
Yes, it was the government mortuary there.
Did you walk into the mortuary? Did you?
Zange size singene emahhodini safikele reception la safike sahlola khona salinda uDaphne wafika.
We didn't go inside the wards. We were at the reception. We had to wait for Daphne there, and she's the one who took us there.
And what did she say?
What
did
in
Miss Daphne Ndlovu say about all this?
Umam
And about the
Daphne Ndlovu-
condition of your brother's body?
uDaphne Ndlovu wathini kini ngesimo sesidumbu sikamfowenu?
Into ayisho nje wathi nje ucela ukuthi masiqine.
She said you must just be strong.
Wathi into enzekile ngobhuti wakho ibhlungu mara ayikho into esingayenza kufanele ukuthi nimbone.
And she said what happened to your brother is very painful, but you have to identify the body.
And did she say anything about the poor refrigeration? Because your
Ngabe
brother was there for well over 6 months, isn't it?
washo ukuthile ngalama fridge ade gcina umfowenu ngoba wayeselapha umfowenu inyanga eziyisithupha khona kusho mhlawumbe ngalokho.
umuntu wabuza i-undertaker uyowambuza ukuthi kanti lo muntu bekehleli kuphi njengoba enje.
The only person who asked about the condition of the mortuary was the gentleman from the funeral parlor. And he asked, why is this body like this? Where was this man kept?
And what did she say about
Wathi
the
uDaphne yena bamtshela nje
decomposed state of the body?
Wasethini ngokubola kwesidumbu?
wathi yena uDaphne akazi bamtshele nje ukuthi isidumbu sesiseMamelodi egovernment mortuary.
She said she didn't know. What she was told is that the body was at the government mortuary in Mamelodi.
Athi before mabezomthatha ukushona kwakhe ushonele eKhalinen eNka.
She said her brother died at Enka. That is where they took the body.
Ngambuza ngathi mina usebenza khona wathi yena akasebenzi eNka usebenza eKhalinen. So iNka ayinama social worker.
And I asked her, where was she working at Enka? And then she said, no, I was working at Kalinen, but Enka doesn't have any social workers.
Bamcelile nje ukuthi akaphathe le case.
They just asked her to oversee this particular case.
Were you here, Mami, when uDaphne Ndlovu benigufakazi bakhe le thula ubufakazi bakhe la?
Were you here when Daphne Ndlovu was a witness or when she was testifying?
Ngamuzwa mayitestify okuningi angizange ngifuna ukulalela ngoba ngaphumela ngaphandle.
Yes, I was here and I didn't want to listen to her. I just went outside. I didn't hear very much.
And from Mamelodi Day Hospital, your brother's body was taken to
Ukusuka eMamelodi Day esibhedlela isidumbu somfono sahanjiswa sayiswa kuphi?
Saya eOrlando ku-undertaker.
In Orlando in Soweto, where the undertaker was.
It says simfake Monday, Tuesday ekuseni i-undertaker yangifonela. Icela ukuthi ngize ema-ofisini layo.
We took the body, it was a Monday, and then the following day, on a Tuesday, the undertaker called me to come to their offices.
Kwatholakala ukuthi ngithi we angeke ngize ngikhona ukuza lapho because ngiya-arrange ukungcwaba kabhuti.
And I told the gentleman I can't come because I'm busy with the funeral arrangements.
Athi bengifuna ukuthi uzobona ukuthi isidumbu sakabhuti wakho sinjani because manje siphuma ney'bungu.
He said, I want you to come and see your brother's corpse because now maggots were coming out of the body.
Athi angazi ukuthi nizomgcokisa kanjani njengoba nithi ngifuna ukumgcokisa.
So the guy said he doesn't know because since the maggots are coming out, how will they clothe the corpse? Because they wanted to bury him in his clothes. And she said, no, we won't dress the corpse or clothe him. We'll just put clothes inside the coffin. And he suggested that we buy blankets so that we can wrap him with the blanket. And we did like he advised. We couldn't let the coffin come back at home. He arrived on the same day of the funeral. And we went to the gravesite with his coffin and he was buried on top of his son. On top of his son.
Abungaka ubuhlungu mami bengafuna ukusala lapho bengibuza imibuzo.
I didn't want us to go there. Your story is really indeed hurtful or painful.
But sometimes the truth becomes necessary,
Kodwa-ke siyadinga ukwazi amaqiniso.
even if it is this painful.
Ngisho noma kubuhlungu kangakanani. What hurt me the most about my brother
ngithi ngimusa ku-place of safety ngithi ngibalekela kona lokuthi ngingatholi isidumbu sakhe sibonile kanti ngisayina amaphepha ukuthi ubhuti wami akahamba yokufa.
What hurt me the most is that I tried to take my brother to a place of safety, only to find out I will be the one to sign off his death.
Ngiyazisola ngisaba nokubheka umndeni wami ngibona ngathi yimi engibulala ubhuti wami.
I can't even face my family because it looks like I was the one who killed my brother.
Ngizama ukuthi ngimsamele indlela e-right yokuthi angafeli emgwaqeni ubhuti. Kuthi ngelo langa kuthiwa uthulile ngayo simazi ukuthi sizomthola kuphi same time.
All I was trying to do is find a place of safety so that he won't roam the streets and be safe, but I didn't know that he would end up dead.
Kanti nginamanga la wayehlala khona emgwaqeni usayiva isivile ubhuti wami for the years ehlala emgwaqeni ehlenyuka emgwaqeni eshayiswa iy'moto engene ephume ibhedlela kodwa simthole ephila.
He survived the streets, and whenever we would find him, he was alive. He survived the streets.
La igcineni khona ngijalo khona ukuthi sokuthola uphumula noma wami ejabule athi ngiyajabula mntana mwenze lento oyenzile ngoba manje sesiyazi ukuthi ubhuti wakho masimfuna sizomthola kuphi. Ngiyabonga lento oyenzile kanti ngikhuluma amanga.
We thought that finally would have some rest because he's finally at a safe place. And my mother was happy, and she was happy that I found a place of safety for my brother. But less did we know that it would only kill him.
Justice Moseneke, I'm not sure if the witness would like a break for a minute or two before we continue, or should we press on?
Let's I'll find out in a moment. I will inquire. Mrs. Tata, bothini sisi qhubeka phambili mame. Or siphumule kancane siphinde sibuye.
Do you want us to continue, or would you like us to take a break? No, I can't.
Uthini mame uthi
Uthi she can't.
akwazi ukuqhubeka la phambili. Funa ukushiya kwala. Okay. Masenze kanje she says she can't continue. Rightly so. I think we should allow. We'll take an adjournment now, and let me, from my chamber, once it is possible to continue.
We'll do that, Justice Moseneke.
We're going to adjourn until I'm advised by counsel.
Your voicemail. Your voicemail.
that she would like to finish her testimony.
Very well. Siyozama siqede mama ngithi.
Do you want us to
Yeah.
continue and finish off? Yes.
Mrs. Stadler, can I please ask you to have a look at file 11?
Mamudla, ngicela ubheke ku file 11.
It might be behind
Behind.
you. Page 3915.
$3915.
3915.
$3915.
3915.
Yes, we
You've
found
got
it.
it. That's the death certificate for Joseph Gomede,
Yes,
And it-
yes.
and it notes the date of death as 24 July 2016.
Ibhalelwa usuku ashona ngalo ukuthi i-24 July 2016.
Yebo.
Yes.
And it says the place of death is Pretoria,
Kubhalelwa ukuthi washonela ePretoria. Yes, yes, Councillor.
and it also says the cause of death was natural causes.
Kubhalelwa na ukuthi imbangela yokufa kwakhe wazishonela ngokwemvelo noma natural causes.
Angazi uzwa basho kanjalo mina angazi nginasiqiniseko.
I don't know, that's what they say. I'm not sure about that.
Do you know whether a post-mortem was performed on your brother?
Ngabe uyazi ukuthi isidumbu somfowenu sahlolwa yini? I-postmortem yenziwe.
Uma ngifika lapha yana besizitshela ukuthi sizomthatha simuse ku-postmortem. uDaphne wasesitshela ukuthi ugovernment useke yenzile i-postmortem.
When we arrived there, that was our initial step, that we would take him to the mortuary so that a postmortem can be performed. But Daphne said already the government has performed a postmortem on the body.
Ngambuza ukuthi bayenze kanjani ngaphandle kwethu. Wathi bayenze because bebekudala besifuna bangasitholi.
I asked her, how come, where did they get the permission to do so? And then she answered and said, it's because they were trying to locate us, they couldn't find us.
Ngithi anisitholi kanjani because kudam bekunama details ami wonke nasemigwaqweni bekethi mayewile efile ewulele phansi bekethi mayiqala iphapha meyibhedlela umuntu oqala kade ekhuluma ngaye bekhuluma ngami nangamafoni nami.
And I asked her, how come? Because even when he was roaming the streets, the first person that would call me is me, because he always had my details. And you should have my details as well.
Enamafoni nami bambeke wazi ngekhanda ubengawabheka indawo bekazi ngekhanda.
And he even knew my phone numbers by heart.
And did you receive the post-mortem report?
Ngizangiswe ngiyithola.
No, we didn't receive the report.
Ngimbuzile nangalela ngade lakho namanje. Wathi zonke izinto zihold government.
I even asked her when she was here, and then she said everything is taken care of by the government.
Mrs. Lada, don't turn over the page just yet. But you're aware that on pages 3917, 3918, 3919, 3920, and 3921 are photographs of Joseph's body.
Mamudladla ungaqala uvula amakhasi kodwa ingabe uyaqaphela lamakhasi ukhansela siwashilo ukuthi kunezithombe zomfowenu noma zesidumbu sikamfowenu.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Justice Moseneke, I'm loath to ask the witness to have regard to the photographs, but I think the witness can confirm that she has seen them, she knows which ones they are. And if, Mrs. Lada, if you could please tell us who took those photographs.
Ubani wathatha lezi thombe Mamudladla?
Oh, i-undertaker yami ngiyayibonga nala ikhona.
It was the undertaker that I used the
Because
gentleman from the
sahluleka ukwenza
undertaker.
i-postmortem wathi fanele ngithathele iy'thombe khona kuzoba i-evidence yokuthi wasithola sinjani isidumbu sikabhuti wakho.
Because they couldn't perform the post-mortem, they said it's better if you take pictures so that you have evidence of the condition of when you discovered your brother's body.
It would appear from the marks on the body that a post-mortem was conducted. Do you recall seeing a scar on Joseph's body?
Uyakhumbula mhlawumbe ubona isibazi noma iskaso ukuthi uJoseph uyawaqaqa wenziwa i-post-mortem.
Ngibonile ngoba ustishiwe from la until kufike enzansi wenkaba.
Yes, because I could see the scars from his body from the chest down to his
Yes. If you could turn to page 3922.
Yabangambonisa ithombe ne? Masiya go straight ku
Yes.
3922.
yes, Justice, I didn't show the pictures.
3922 is the notice of death. And it states that the date of death, as it does on the death certificate, is 24 July 2016.
Yebo.
Yes.
And it says the place of death is Cullinan.
Lana ibhale indawo yokushona indawo umfana shonela kuyo njengeKhalinen ibhale ukuthi Khalinen.
Ya ukusuka kwethu lapha yana uDaphne ngoba wasitshela ukuthi uphuma usebenzela eKhalinen wayengasitshelanga ngeEnka ungitshele after mangiloke ngimkhuluma naye efonini sengifuna ukwazi ukuthi ubekuphi kahle kahle ubhuti wami wathi beke ngaphakathi kwejarid laseEnka laseKhalinen bathi eseEnka.
When I called Daphne, it was when she said to me, yes, my brother was at Enka, but Enka is in the same premises as the Cullinan Hospital. They're using the same premises. It was only then that I discovered that he was at Cullinan.
And then on page 3923,
But before you move away from 3922, Council, can you see the block where the fingerprints are supposed to be placed? Are you going to canvass that?
yes, but let me go there right now.
I'll leave it to you.
I'll go there right now. Ms. Ladla, on page 3922, there's a square block on the right-hand side of the page, and someone wrote in the block, and it says, tell me if you can see it, it says fingerprints were not taken due to decomposition of the body.
Kuleli bhokisi njengoba. Oh, yes, she's confirming it. It is so. She can see the box.
Did anybody explain to you where Joseph's body was kept for the 7 months since he died, between the time he died and that you identified the body?
uDaphne ngathi mangimbuza wangitshela ukuthi yena akazi ukuthi ubhuti wami beke kuphi ukushona kwakhe yena bambize nje ukuthi akeza azophatha le case bamtshela ukuthi isidumbu sisemamilodi egovernment yemoshari.
When I asked Daphne where my brother's body was kept, she said she doesn't have any idea, but she only knew of this case because she was instructed to take over this case because she works at Cullinan.
So no one was able to tell you where his body had been kept.
Azange baze bangitshele.
No, no one told me.
So on page,
But where did you find the body?
Nasithola phi isidumbu sika.
Sasithole government mortuary yaseMamelodi
It was in the government mortuary in Mamelodi,
esibhedlela.
Mamelodi Hospital.
Council,
So-
are we? Is there any way of knowing whether Mamelodi Day Hospital is a provincial hospital? I don't know how we're going to establish that, because I truly want to know whose responsibility is it to keep and manage a mortuary there. It can't be just a source of terrible pain and crying. Who, in law or in practice, is obliged to keep a proper mortuary? And why is the mortuary in the state that it is? And I'm sure counsel for the state can hear me. I would like to have that information. I want to know whether it's a provincial hospital, and I want to know who bears the obligation to keep a mortuary at a hospital, and I want to know why this mortuary did not work. How does a body get decomposed in a mortuary? To the extent that these pictures show and the evidence has shown. Can we do some work on that? I'd like to know that. Either place on record or bring evidence which I'd like to follow up. You may proceed, Council.
Justice Masaneke, there are two issues in that regard. One is the Mamelodi Hospital mortuary, and I understand Mamelodi Hospital to be a regional hospital, but there's also the Cullinan mortuary. We've heard evidence in the days before today about the hot mortuary at Cullinan.
Yes.
And so one of the things that we have not been able to establish in relation to this particular client is the chain of custody of the body from Anchor to Cullinan to Mamelodi. So perhaps that could be added to the investigation.
Yes, yes, indeed. I mean, mortuaries are a public facility, and they are set up for a public purpose. That's plain. We're human beings, we die, and if we are not refrigerated, we decompose. It's just that plain. And when you have that duty, then you've got to follow it up and fulfill it. And if you don't, you end up with 5 pictures like we have, which you showed me today, and the evidence we had. It's such an egregious invasion of citizens or any other users of the mortuary, both those who lose their lives and those who live and who have to live with and deal with the corpses. So I really would like to know, and counsel for the state should try and do some work for us around that, about these mortuaries and why they were in the state that they were. And we should place that evidence. It's a relevant factor in assessing the kind of redress that the healthcare users who died are entitled to. I'll leave it at that. You have time to do that. And on Thursday when we meet, I need a report about what is the outcome of that investigation. You may proceed, Council.
Thank you, Justice Masaneke. There are regulations that govern the manner in which mortuaries are to be run and operated and what conditions need to be present. The regulations governing the disposal of human remains. And we will investigate
Yes,
that further as well.
Indeed, that will be helpful. There's the legal part to it.
Yes.
And then, of course, the compliance end of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
On page 3923, there is, Mrs. Lara, there's a signature about halfway down the page by the medical practitioner, the attending medical practitioner, and the name that is recorded is Rachel Makoma Kenoshi. Do you see that?
Yeah, ngiyabona.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
And then the date that the doctor signed this notice of death is on the 25th July 2016.
Usuku lapho
Ngiyabona.
abhala ngalo. Yes, I can see.
But when we look lower down the page, under the heading Particulars of Informant, you'll see your details and your signature with the date 13 February 2017.
Uyabona usuku owasayinda
Yeah,
ngalo.
ngiyabona.
Yes, I can see
When-
that, Councillor.
When were you provided with this form to sign?
Wanikezwa nini leli form ukuthi ulisayinde?
And who gave you the forms to sign?
Nokuthi ubani owakunikeza leli form ukuthi ulisayinde?
Oh, i-undertaker.
Eh,
I-undertaker.
It was
Yeah,
the
the very same day sabuya ngayo kulanda isidumbu. Sengiyakhumbula saya straight ku-undertaker. Then wakhipha lamaphepha lawa ke.
It was the gentleman from the undertaker. The very same day we arrived with the cops at the undertaker, he's the one who took out these forms and I had to sign them.
And if you turn over the page to page 3925, halfway down the page again, it says causes of death. And it lists only one a handwritten word that says sepsis.
Uyalibona igama leli elibhaliwe sepsis. Yes, I
Ngiyalibona.
can see, Councillor.
Did anybody explain to you what the meaning of this is? What is the meaning of sepsis and how did it cause Joseph's death?
Khona mhlawumbe wakuchazela ukuthi leli gama lisho ukuthini nokuthi kungani kusetshenziswe lona njengembangela yokufa kukaBaba Joseph.
Akekho wangichazela.
No one explained to me what it meant,
Kodwa ngabuza uDaphne.
but I asked Daphne.
uDaphne wangitshela nje ukuthi naye ayikho into angangiphendula ngayo.
And Daphne,
Abo-doctor yibo abaziyo.
and Daphne said there is nothing she can say, only the doctors know.
When did you lay Joseph to rest?
Namfihla nini uBaba Joseph?
Ngiyi-16. Ngiyi-16 zikaFebruary.
It was the 16th of February.
16 February 2017.
Yes,
And who paid for the funeral costs?
Yimi.
it was me.
Do you know how much it cost you? Do you recall?
Ngahlangubezela ukuthi indleko zabangakanani.
It was nearly 55,000. Mangaphosisi. Mase sekuhlangene nakho konke ukudla. Yonke into nje ngayispenda, it's nearly 55,000.
It's close to 55,000, including food and everything.
And has anybody from the government contacted you? Anyone from the Gauteng Department of Health in particular? Did anyone contact you after? Well, first of all, did anyone from the Department of Health attend the funeral?
Kukhona ovela emnyangweni wezempilo owezemngcwabeni.
Ngendlela uDaphne wayechaze ngayo uma sehamba, wayethe bazoza the very same week. ngendlela wayechaze ngayo ukube saya ngaye ngaba zange size singcwabe kulelo viki leyo ngoba wayethe bayeza bazokwenza yonke into kodwa ngokuzwa i-undertaker isichaza ukuthi isidumbu sakabhuti wami sineyibungu lapho singazange sikhona ukuma khona.
Daphne, before she left, she assured us that they would come the following week. But if we took Daphne's word, then we wouldn't have buried my brother because the undertaker advised us that we should bury my brother because there were maggots coming out of his body, so we couldn't delay the burial of his corpse.
Did anybody from the government attend the funeral?
Khona oweza mama uvela,
Akekho.
no one came.
Did anyone from the government call you at any time after the funeral?
Akho no you-one.
Not even one.
Mrs. Dadla, I'm not going to ask you what the impact has been. It's quite obvious the pain that has been caused as a result of this tragedy.
Mama udladla uthi ukhansela angeke akubuze ukuthi nithinteke kanjani njengomndeni ngoba wonke umuntu uyazibonela futhi kucacile ukuthi nizizwa kanjani njengomndeni.
Thank you for having the courage to not only testify today, but to return to complete your testimony.
Uyabonga ukuthi ube nesibindi sokuthi uzothula ubufakazi bakho phambi kwalesi sigcawu nokuthi uye wakwazi kuba nesibindi sokuthi uqhubeke nangemva kokwenzekile.
Ngiyabonga.
She says, "Thank you."
Is there anything else that you would like to say that you have not already said to government?
Khona ungathanda ukusho kulokhu mhlawumbe ongakakusho ubhekisele kuyihulumeni mhlawumbe ofuna ukukutshela uhulumeni.
Hayi. Hayi. I-government ingizwisile ubuhlungu yase South Africa.
Our government really hurt me a lot.
Ingizwisile ubuhlungu angikaze ngizwe ubuhlungu kanje empilweni yami.
I've never experienced such pain in my life.
Into engangi-avoida ukuthi mayingenzeki kubhuti wami.
The very thing that I've avoided to happen to my brother,
Ngithi angifuni yenzeke emgwaqweni. Ngithi la yakhona uzoba safe.
I thought he was going to be safe where he was.
Kanti ngikhuluma manga nje ubhuti wami kula azofa khona isidumbu sakhe ngisithole after 7 months.
But is where my brother died, and I discovered his body after 7 months.
Kodwa uqedani mahlangu la ekhona yena. Angeke ngize ngimxolele empilweni yami I won't rest. Angeke nje ngize ngiphumule uqedani mahlangu. Ijustice ingakasebenzi ngayi.
I won't forgive Qedani Mahlangu. I won't rest until justice is done.
Negama lakhe liyamfanele ubaqedile abantu.
Even her name suits her because she finished off our loved ones.
Ngoba kube babelalelile abo doctor mabesho ukuthi benze lento abayishoyo. Ngaba sikho kulento esikuyo namhlanje. Phezulu kokuthi yenzeka nango 2007 still baya continue bona baya foster bayavala.
If they only listened to the doctors and took their advice not to repeat what happened in 2007, we won't be sitting here today.
Into yenza ukuthi benze yonke lento ubugreed nokuthanda imali nokunikeza ihlobo zabo ama contract.
It's because they did this because they are greedy and they want their relatives they give contracts to their families so that they can gain.
La ngaphandle baningi abantwana abafundile abanama diploma okwenza lo msebenzi. Kunzima ukuthi bathole umsebenzi ukuthi bazoyenza umsebenzi oright. Bathatha ihlobo zabo lezi abazaziyo ukuthi bona bazodlana imali bafaka zona ukuthi mazingene sizobulala abantwana bethu. Mina ubhuti wami bengimthanda bengimfisa ukuthi makangiphilele kodwa namhlanje ngikhuluma ukuthi nje akasekho.
There are many young South Africans who are qualified to do this kind of work, but they only awarded the contracts to their relatives for them to gain. And I thought my brother would be here alive today, but he's dead.
Kube bokuyimi nje bebengeke baze banginike lo msebenzi. Nginganama qualification. Loya bamnike ngoba bemazi, bebengeke bamnike nje. Bamnike ngoba bemazi.
Because I don't have qualifications to do this job, they wouldn't have given me this job, but they awarded those contracts to people they know because they're relatives.
Phezukwe lokho esebona ukuthi abantu bayafa, ubhizi lokuyamukela. Yena into ayibhekile isikhwama sakhe nje ukuthi siyagcwala. Akanandaba nemiphefumulo yabantu laba bangaphakathi.
Even though she realized that many people were dying, but she continued and accepted more patients because she wanted more money out of that.
Ngibhlungu namhlanje ukuthi sihlangene la. Ngemindeni yethu bekade siyithanda.
I'm so hurt that today we've gathered here because we loved our family members.
And ngicela nje ipresident yethu imlando uqedani la ikhona. Abuye because asukuthi akamazi, uyamazi ukube bokufe i1 yemntanakhe ngabe uqedani ula.
I want the president to summon Qedani Mahlangu to be here because if it was one of his children, Qedani would be here.
Ngaba zangazo jump amabhoda.
She wouldn't have gone overseas.
Mrs. Dladla, would you accept counseling if it was offered to you?
Unga wamgela uma uthola counseling ma.
Ngiyidinga kakhulu nomama.
Yes, my mother and I really do need counseling.
Okay, for you and your mother. Yes.
Yes, swam.
My sister as well.
Ngiyaxolisa.
She's very sorry.
Ngiyabonga.
Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you, Mom.
You know, Council, I haven't seen your discomfort with the paperwork in 3922 and 2324. Let me tell you what it is. Let's go to 3925. There is a part of a notice of death, as I read it on its face. It says confirmation for medical and health use only. And it says after completion, sealed to ensure confidentiality. Now, there's sepsis there as a diagnosis, immediate cause of death. You look a little lower, look at item 79. Apparently there's an option, method used to ascertain cause of death, tick all that apply, and here the tick is option of registered professional nurse. There are other options, like option of attending a medical practitioner. 79.4, 79.3. Post-mortem examination is another option that you might ask for. Another one is simply to opt for a registered professional nurse to diagnose cause of death. Now you look at the form, you go further down. The final conclusion on cause of death, of course, is blank at the bottom. And you don't see who signed this. You know, it's a professional nurse that made this diagnosis and decision. And I've seen this in many of the paperwork you gave me, which is in quite an appalling stage, in the sense that there are obvious inaccuracies. I wonder what you say to that. I don't think telling to the witness would help me much.
The first thing I'd like to point out is that the documents on page 3922, 3923, and 3924 seem to belong to one set of documents. It goes up to page 3 of 3, and then on 3925, the confirmation for medical and health use only starts as page 1 of 1, which doesn't help you, Justice Moseneke, because all it does is complicate matters further, because the same Rachel Makoma signed on page 3923, as did on page 3925, although there isn't a signature, it's just a name. It's just the name.
Yes, that signed N.O. data, does the witness confirm it's her signature?
On page 3923?
Yes.
Yes, she did confirm that it's her signature.
And this was completed when she was there, isn't it? On the 25th of July.
No, so the testimony of the witness was that these forms were brought to her by the undertaker on the 13th of July, and she simply filled in the bottommost part of the form.
But look at all those dates, don't talk to that date at all.
No.
Look at the official stamp. It's 13th February 2017. Look at the date on the signature of the date in the first top half. 25th, clearly altered, but 25th July 2016. At the bottom is yet another date unconnected with the top one. Can you see date signed at the bottom?
Yes. Yes.
It almost seems like these forms get filled up just to get going with burial and get the body going.
I think
And I don't
that
see the signature of the sister nor of the doctor, assuming that was a valid option.
there's, to add to your woes, it's not only the notice of death forms that appear to be haphazardly filled out, but even the death certificates vary in terms of the type of information they have from deceased to deceased. At times they will say the place of death is Tshwane, sometimes Pretoria, sometimes very specifically they will say Cullinan Rehab Center, for example. I'm just using those as examples.
The burial order, who authorized it? Who signed it? I can't see the official who. I can see the recipient of the burial order is this witness. But I can't
Yes.
see.
Yes, and it's stamped by the Department of Home Affairs on the 15th of February. And on the stamp it says Barra Hospital.
Yes, but there was long. February 2017. What is his connection to the date, to the burial date?
The burial day was a day later, on the 16th of February. So this
So
order,
what, the undertaker simply went to Barra and got somebody to issue a burial order? I'm just trying to find the connection between.
my understanding is that the undertakers facilitate the process of obtaining death certificates, burial orders, and the like. And so this would have been provided by the undertaker. This would have been procured by the undertaker, rather.
And what has Chrisane Baragwanath Hospital got to do with it? I'm just making the point. I'm
No.
struck by the ineptness of the paperwork. And this paperwork is meant to prevent people being unlawfully interred. People dying and nobody checks and knows why, and they get buried, this all get done. That is why there's legislation to regulate disposal of dead bodies. But you look
Indeed.
at this and you try and follow it carefully. I just struggle by looking at these 5 documents.
And
And who wrote sepsis? I mean, why?
Well,
and how do we identify the person who made the diagnosis?
well, it seems to be a Rachel Konoshi. Whether she is a registered nurse or a medical practitioner is not known. But that's the name that's reflected, and there's a signature on one of the pages that is meant to be her signature on page 3923. Lost my way. There we go. So it's in the middle of the page. There's a signature that begins with an R.
Yeah. And would she be the one who would have been responsible for 3925?
She would have been the one responsible for 3925. Her name is reflected on page 3925. And her rank is reflected as medical officer.
On 3925.
Her role/rank on 3925. Alongside paragraph 76.
Ranked medical officer.
Yes.
But the option chosen is registered professional nurse.
Yes.
So all these nurses were certifying people's. Yeah, this one purports to be done by a professional nurse. And another part, she signs as medical officer.
The other concern is to go back to the death certificate, is that it says cause of death, natural causes. And one should ordinarily be able to rely on an official death certificate to confirm the cause of death. But we know that this that a post-mortem has been conducted on this body, and it was conducted after the.
Yes.
And we don't know what the cause of death was yet on the death certificate, as on the other death certificates in these files. It says natural causes.
Yes. And we know deaths and births legislation confers a presumption of correctness on a death certificate or a birth certificate, unless shown otherwise. And it's just the level of paperwork that we get confronted with, which may very well speak to a much, much larger malady. Anyway, mama bengisabuza ngamaphepha akho ngoba inkinga eningi nje.
I was just questioning those papers because they have many discrepancies.
Yeah. Anyway, Advocate Kraus.
Thank you, Justice Musaneki. The witness was trying to say something. I don't know whether she was. I don't want to interrupt her.
Was the witness about to say something?
Yes.
Oh.
But ufuna ukusho ukuthile mama?
Oh, bengithanda ukuchaza nje la judge ukuthi la maphepha lawa ngendlela engangiconfuse ngakhona angisakhumbule ngawasayina ePitori nengawasayina ku-undertaker kodwa wonke asayinwa yimi. Yeah, inkinga nje ukuthi angisazi ukuthi iliphe engalisayina ePitori iliphe engalisayina ku
Umbhalo lothi NO Dladla nguwe lo bhale lapha.
yimi lo ngisayinela.
Okay, so she's just explaining that because she was so confused at that time, there were papers she signed in Pretoria and the others she signed when she was with the undertaker, but most of all of the papers are signed by her. So the justice was confirming if this was her signature.
Did you go to Baragwanath, Chris Hane Baragwanath Hospital?
Nike
Or is it
naya-
undertaker who completed all of those forms?
Azange siye bar.
No, we didn't go to Chris Hani Baragwanath
Oh,
Hospital.
yes,
No, we didn't.
Isibhedlela esagcina kiso yiso lesi esasikusePitori.
We only went to that hospital in Pretoria.
And after his death, was your brother's body ever taken to Baragwanath, Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital?
Azange.
No, the body wasn't taken there.
Okay, very well.
Thank you, Justice. Ms. Dladla, I just want to know whether up to today you have received any counselling.
Uyabuza advocate ukuthi kuze kufike namuhla ingabe uye wayithola i-counseling mhlawumbe thize?
Angakayitholi.
No, I haven't received any counseling.
Was any counselling offered to you up to today?
Ingabe khona owasikisela ukuthi uhambe i-counseling?
Section 27. Yibo bangitshela ngokuthi and then kufanele ngithole i-counselling.
It was only Section 27 who advised me to go to counseling.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Justice.
Yes, thank you. Advocate Groenewald.
Thank you, Justice. We have no questions for the witness.
Bathi abanayo imibuzo.
But what does your schedule show? I thought you'll say, well, the schedule shows that Mr. Jaja died on a particular day. I'm quite curious to know that. Did you ever look at that? What does
We indeed have.
Daphne's schedule say?
It's on page 23, Justice, of ELAH 9. It's the second last individual on the list there. And the date of death is correct, 24th of July 2016. The date at which Mr. Gumede was admitted to Anchor is not specified, so that's unclear. And it's confirmed that Mr. Gumede indeed died at Anchor, but no further remarks is made there. So it seems like there's no contradictions. A lot of missing facts, but no contradictions per se, Justice.
But it helped to tell us, some that Mrs. Dladla here doesn't know, that his brother went to Anchor.
Indeed so,
And we
Justice.
know that we have evidence of the conditions at Anchor, which give us a link between the deterioration, the likely deterioration of his condition and his ultimate death,
Indeed so, Justice.
which, as I've suggested earlier, it'd be difficult to talk about Cullinan itself in those circumstances, because there's a rehab center, which seemed to have a budget that was adequate for its operations from the evidence.
I think just the witness has clarified it, or it seems like one of the main missing links here, Justice, as with the previous witnesses, is the fact that we cannot find any medical records. Because if we have patients' files, we would know what was the sepsis issue, what was the treatment given, and I can only say that that is one of the issues that we still need to clarify, and hopefully before the end of these proceedings.
Azange bakunikeze medical records mama noma ezinjani ukuthi ubone uzibonele wena.
Did they give you any medical records so that you can see for yourself what was written in those records?
uDaphne ngathi mangimbuza wangitshela ukuthi labantu bafikele ePitori bengenama files.
When I asked Daphne about the files, she said the patients came to Pretoria without any file or medical record.
Yeah. It's a good point, Counsel, you're right. If we have the records, to look at them or give them to experts, doctors to look at them, and we can track and see the fate of the patient from the letter, from the, what do they call it, bed letter. Of course, you can trace that.
Indeed so, Justice, and I think just one point to be made, and perhaps the witness can just clarify that, is, I mean, these patients were, some of them were admitted back to CCRC, but at the end of the day, it is confirmed by the government that they took over Anchor and they took over Siabadinga. So clearly they must have been placed in possession of the documentations which included the patient's files. So I think what we need to know is where is those files and was there any files and what happened to those files. But surely, unfortunately, this witness cannot clarify that. But yeah.
Sure. The witness has responded that she did ask for the file from Ms. Ndlovu, and Ms. Ndlovu said she had no record. And your point is good. If there was a proper transfer, then the state, i.e. CRC, should be able to show us the record, which would resolve a lot of the puzzle around the cause of death. There's one thing that we're still struggling with, the actual cause of death.
Indeed so, Justice. And from our two witnesses who followed, they still have those questions, and they hope that those questions will be answered at some other point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justice.
Thank you. Advocate. Richard.
Thank you, Justice Musanek. No questions.
Yes. Was Advocate Yina or Advocate Kuchan? I hope I'm not overlooking you, Counsel. No? Yeah. Advocate Utam.
Thank you, Justice. Ms. Dladla, greetings to you.
Babingelela Mamhlaza.
Yebo.
The pain that you go through is obvious to us and to everyone else. And on behalf of the government, we are really sorry and regret the passing of your brother, Joseph Guimede. We are thankful for the time that you have taken to give account of your testimony. And we trust
But
that
we
through
agreed,
this
Counsel,
process,
that you will pause and allow the witness to comment all the way.
thank you,
You're
Justice.
putting a proposition to her,
Thank you.
and she may say yay or nay or nothing. So you have to allow her to do that.
Thank you, Justice.
Advocate uyasho ukuthi baxolisa ngalokho okuvelele emndenini wakho futhi bayayibona inhlungu yabangela ilokufa komfowenu. Baxolisa kakhulu ngokudlula emhlabeni kwamfowenu. Mhlawumbe khona uthanda ukukusho.
Engikwatisayo nje kunakho konke.
What makes me even more angry
Kwathi makuvula iParliament,
when the parliament opened,
iDA ikhuluma lapha ya.
the political party, when the DA was speaking there,
Ecela ukuthi makugotshiswa amakhanda kukhulekelwe labantu abashonile.
when they asked for a moment of silence from the House for the people who died from Life Esidimeni.
Our president, he refused. He refused. Why? Why? Because bengamthusi lento yenzakele. Ubeyazi ukuthi izokwenzeka. Ngoba kube bemthusile, ngabe wavuma ukugobisa ikhanda wakhuleka.
Our president refused for that to take place. It's because it wasn't the first time of this kind of a thing happening. That is why he refused to do so. And he knew that this was going to happen.
Wasn't it the Speaker who refused that moment?
Kwakungasiwo uSpeaker weParliament
Sakhumbuli kahle dad. Kodwa nje khona lapha eParliament njengomholi wethu wayefanele ukuthi ame yena ukuthi kwenzeke lokho njengobaba osiphethe kwakufanele ukuthi ame ngoba uyinkalankala Ngakho nabantwana bakhe bahamba njengey'nkalankala.
I can't remember who opposed to that, but as our president, as the father of the nation, he should have stood up and allowed for that moment of silence.
Fair enough, I hear the answer. Council, you may proceed.
Thank you. Ms. Lada, we trust that this arbitration proceedings will help us as the government, as well as the family members and all those who are affected, to find a way in getting closure and redress in this matter. And we thank you for having made the time to give your testimony.
Mamudladla, siyathemba njengoba siqhubeka lesi sigcawu somlamuli ukuthi sizosithola isiphetho esifanele nokuthi ekugcineni ubulungiswa buzokwenziwa. Siyabonga ngesikhathi sakho ukuthi uze uzosinikeza noma uzosithulela lobu bufakazi.
Ngiyabonga kodwa angazi ukuthi ukusiduduza kwakhe kuzosiduduza ngani ngeyimali zama-tax abantu la eSouth Africa noma izobe iphuma esikhwameni sakhe. Ngoba ukube le mali ye-tax uyisebenzisele labantu laba abagulayo ngaba sikhola. Khona manje ufuna uzosinikeza yona. Angeke isivale isikhala sakabhuti wami imali.
They should have used the taxpayers' money of South Africa to avoid what they did at Life Esidimeni. Now they would want to compensate us with money, and money won't close the gap that our loved ones died. So it doesn't close that gap, or it doesn't make it right.
Council.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lada. There are no further questions.
Bayabonga Mamudladla.
Nami ngiyabonga.
Thank you very much.
Council. Re-examination.
There's no re-examination, Justice Moseneke.
But abasenayo mama eminye imibuzo.
Usenze sibe buhlungu mami. Kakhulu nje.
Your story really made us painful, or it really hurt us to hear what you had to say.
And I personally wish you well, and I hope you will ultimately find
Ngokwami ngoqondile ngiyathemba ukuthi uzoba kahle empilweni noma uzoduduzeka bese uthola isiphetho salendaba esifanele.
and you are right to say that we must pursue a just outcome at every cost, as you said.
Uqinisile njengoba uthi kumele sithole umphumela onobulungisa phakathi.
Because when an injustice happens, there should be all effort to find that equilibrium of the law, to try and find
Ngoba uma kuye kwenzeka
equitable redress.
Uma kuye kwenzeka okungalungile noma okungekho emthethweni, mele umthetho wona ngokwawo ukwazi ukuthola ubulungiswa obufanele njengoba lenqobo yenza.
So at a personal level, I truly wish you well to find some space and peace. And at a legal level, you're entitled to pursue this until, in your view, there has been justice.
Ngokwami ngiyathemba ukuthi uzothola ukuthula, kodwa ke ngokomthetho uyakwazi ukuthi uqhubeke ufuna nezinye indlela ukuthi uthole ubulungisa.
And we will try and do justice within the powers that we might have.
Sizozama nathi ukuthi sithole ubulungisa kule ndaba kwalokho noma ngokwamandla esinawo ukwenza njalo.
Yabonga mama.
Thank you very much.
Ngiyabonga Judge.
Thank you, Justice.
I wish ukuthi leli zwe ngabe liphethwe ngokwenkosi yami.
I wish you were the president.
Council, it's
Just-
4:30.
Yes. Our next witness is present, but it is highly unlikely that we'll be able to complete her testimony
No,
by 5.
we can't help her away. It was a difficult day. I think we're all entitled to take a breather. Very soon, all of us might need counseling at this rate. It is quite well known by now, we're not sitting tomorrow. We're going to sit again on Thursday and Friday. And that was arranged right from the beginning. Council have more than enough to do on their plates. And to give me certain reports on Thursday. We'll be resuming Thursday morning at 9:30. And I hope none of you would go and take a rest for tomorrow and be back only on Thursday at 9:30. And whatever matter might be necessary to canvass, I think we should reserve that for meeting with all legal representatives at 9:15 on Thursday, unless there's some pressing matter which council we would like to raise now. Advocate Klaus, no? You set up like...
Justice Museneke, I will not be here on Thursday and Friday, and I just want to apologize for that. I have other court commitments that I have to attend.
Very well.
I'm
You've got a
very sorry.
colleague to your right.
I've got a very competent colleague to my right.
Yes, indeed. I agree. So we'll miss you for 2 days, but we will see you, we'll see you on Monday again. Any council, was any matter that you'd like to raise before we adjourn? No? In Pretoria, we say, as sick and sat. I've had enough for the day. We adjourn.